We're going live. I am live. All right, look at everybody. Whew, well, I had a little trouble getting to the theater tonight. I'm telling you, the subways were late, and where is my capo? Oh, there's my capo. Good to see you, my friends. All right. I don't know if you've been all speaking together, but it's time to say a wee bit. Oh, it's been so moving and so wonderful. And I saw that there are other people who are doing this kind of sing-along, but I don't know if they're actually getting the folks to sing with them in the sense that we are. So the crisis is getting more acute in terms of people who are contracted the virus, and more people have died. But it's also true that the predictions of the rate at which it would spread have not been borne out fully. So that was my other hope and dream. All right, Robert Cohen, you said you want to see more of the guitar. That's right. All right. Hi. I was thinking of singing something that we hadn't sung in a long time. People would ridicule this, but and they'd actually make it kind of a statement of silliness. But I think it's appropriate to resurrect this a wee bit. Did you see that picture of the daughter? I didn't want to reveal her name because I didn't have permission, and there are privacy issues always. She was sitting there at the at the tube. Oh, Bethany will join us. Anon, by the way. So here we go. If I were free. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. No. Let me see. Is somebody having trouble? It's a bit dark. Oh, all right. Well, I know I turned this off because it was flaring last night. Here. See, that gets a little bit. All right. That's a good compromise. All right. and Peter Palmieri sang this at the March on Washington in 1969, November 15th. It was a march to end the war in Vietnam, but it wasn't a protest. It was an affirmation. The protest had gone on the preceding night with a march against death, whereby people with the names of the American soldiers who had died being printed on pieces of oak tag or cardboard were put into coffins, and large coffins, and one by one, solemnly, by candlelight, each candle, a name put in and spoken, saying that these are not figures, that statistics, these are human beings. And at the end of the night, all the way through the night, in the morning, the coffins were borne to the Pentagon. And that's when the celebration of life began. And that's when this event happened that was really mostly music. And I'll tell you more about it. But at one point we got on stage and sang this. If I were free to speak my mind, I tell a tale to humankind of how the flowers do bloom and fade, and how we fought, and how we've paid. This weary world has had its fill of words of war from every hill. The time has come for peaceful days, for peaceful men and women of peaceful ways. If I were free with me, if I were free, speak my mind, speak my mind. I tell a tale, I tell a tale to humankind, how the flowers, of how the flowers bloom and fade, do bloom and fade, of how we fought and how we've paid, and how we've paid. When humankind has ceased to fight, I'll raise my hand in thanks each night for this rich earth and all it needs, for golden days and peaceful dreams. If I were free, if I were free to speak my mind, to speak my mind, I tell a tale, I tell a tale to humankind, how the flowers do bloom and fade, of how we fought and how we've paid. So the song is a prayer for peace. We did record it. But the funny thing that happened, I thought I'd turn this, oops, this is for Jill. All right, I'm going to turn this off. This is can't be. Oh, I know what I have to do. I just have to turn down the volume. All right, here we go. I think this should do it. If not, we'll take more drastic measures. So I'm thinking about that peace march and thinking about the fact that it was very common for people to talk about Peter, Paul, and Mary as being protest singers. But we were not protest singers. Yes, we were saying no to some things, but we were as emphatically and always saying yes to what we believed in, what we thought was important. And that presenting an image of what we wanted, not just focusing on what we did not want, was really not just by design in terms of what we thought we ought to be doing. It was in our blood that we did that. And so there was a sense within us, and I think within the audience too, that there was always hope attached to that, and it was in the voices. You know what we didn't do yet? Well, I want to do several things. I've got a lot of thoughts about songs tonight, and I thought I might go back to some songs that are traditional, that really started me off and started us all off. That and a kid's song first. I think this is what I mean. Oh, the fox went out on a chilly night, prayed for the moon to give him light. For he had many miles to go that night before he reached the town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh, many a mile to go that night before he reached the town with me. Town, oh, town, oh, many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. When we get to the part of each of the verses, you do that, okay? He ran till he came to a great big pen where the ducks and the geese were gathering. He said, a couple of you are gonna grease my chin. Can you do that? Can you bring your hand up to your mouth and go slurping? Okay, hit him. He ran till he came to a great big pen where the ducks and the geese were gathering. He said, a couple of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh, a couple of you gonna grease my chin before I leave this town. Oh, town, oh, town, oh, a couple of you gonna grease my chin. Did you forget? Before I leave this town. Oh. Then old Mother Flipper Flopper turned on. He grabbed the gray goose by the neck, flung him up across his back. He didn't mind the quack, 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 quack. Can you do that together? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Quack, quack, quack. That wasn't good. You have to make that. I can hear you. That wasn't great. I mean, it was okay. 1, 2, 3. Quack, quack, quack. Excellent, excellent. Whatever. He grabbed the gray goose by the neck, flung him up across his back. He didn't mind the quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down, down, oh, down, oh. He didn't mind the quack, 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 and the legs all dangling down. Then old Mother Flipper Flopper jumped out of bed. Out of the window she popped her head, crying, John, John, the gray goose is gone. Oh. Can you do that with me? John, John, the gray goose is gone. Oh. Okay, here we go. Oh, then old Mother Flipper Flopper jumped out of bed. Out of the window she popped her head, crying, John, John, the gray goose is gone. Oh. And the fox is on the town, oh, town, oh, town, oh. John, John, the gray goose is gone. Oh. And the fox is on the town. The Johnny ran to the top of the hill, blew his horn both loud and shrill. The fox, he said, I better flee with my kill. Can you get your finger up your nose? I better flee with my kill. Try it together. Here we go. I better flee with my kill. Excellent. Oh, then Johnny ran to the top of the hill, blew his horn both loud and shrill. The fox, he said, I better flee with my kill. Well, they'll soon be on my trail, trail, trail. The fox, he said, I better flee with my kill. Well, they'll soon be on my trail. He He ran till he came to his cozy den. There were the little ones, 8, 9, 10, saying, Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. Get your 2 fingers up here. Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. And you can see whether you're doing that. Get your 2 fingers up. Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. He ran till he came to his cozy den. There were the little ones, 8, 9, 10, saying, Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. Or it must be a mighty fine town, oh, Daddy, Daddy, better go back again. 'Cause it must be a mighty fine town. Then the fox and his wife, without any strife, cut up the goose with the carving knife. They never had such a supper in their lives. And the little ones chewed on the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. They never had such a supper in their lives. The little ones chewed on the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. They never had such a supper in their lives. And the little ones chewed on the bones, oh, bones, oh, bones, oh. Oh, they never had such a supper in their lives. So the fox went out on a chilly night, prayed for the moon to give him light, for he had many miles to go that night before he leaves the town, oh, many a mile to go that night before he reached the town. That's for the younger ones that are watching. And you, my sweetheart, who were watching the other night playing the guitar. It's interesting because in this song, the singer roots for the fox and makes fun of the farmer and his wife. But that life was rugged in those days when this was written, hundreds of years ago. And part of getting through difficult things is keeping our humor, which is the case now. This was a hard thing when the fox raided the chicken coop, or any of the animals were in jeopardy. So there was humor there, and there's humor now about our circumstance, and that is a very healing and a very good thing. Now, I wanted to do a song that you know and that you can sing, and so I thought what I would do is look at the list of songs in the last concert I did with Noel Paul Suki, because I'm always ad-libbing this, and I never know what I'm going to sing next, and it always is a pleasure to have that sense of the uncertainty principle. But I can't get this off, but it's okay. I will. You know what I'd like to sing? This simple, corny old song. Let me just open the door because it's getting a little hot in here, which is unusual. Let me say hello to some of you, because I want to see who's aboard tonight. Let me see. We have Andy Ogala Akiko. I never think I'd see you so many nights in a row. Dolores, of course. Okay. Rick Lippin, yes. Carol Nash. Yes, is 71 considered young? Why, is it your birthday? Yes, Carol. Jerry Critchley, what fun and how uplifting and healing to sing along as I'm cooking dinner. Wonderful. Good to know that. Rick Lapine. Rick, oh my goodness. I've got your your dishes that I've loved all these years. Oh my God. I'm so glad to be able to say thank you in spades, not just for the gift, right? Or how wonderful it's been to have them in my life. I'm unbelievable. Sherry Quinby, yes. Kehoe. Uh, let's see. You can suggest songs. Anya again. Robert Comer, you're still lobbying for Old Coat. Okay, I'll wait for a little bit. That gets a little. Jerry Camerata, as always, yes. I'm hoping that Muriel Fox will join us. Larry Rohr, again. And Elizabeth, who worked like crazy today to get so that they're sending out, that the information was sent out hours earlier. That's because of Elizabeth Kolodny, who is registered here as Elizabeth DeLeo, which is the maiden name. Elizabeth is the program director of Operation Respect, and she's a genius, and she is all heart and love. And also Sarah Cole, who works with Tony Arencio as my assistant and his assistant. Hello, Meg Olson. You saw me when you were in the second grade, and now you're 40 and you're in the fourth grade. Me too. And let me see, Christopher Yarrow. Oh, Christopher Stuball. You want to say we'll be out of sync, but what the heck? We could try it. Joni Peltzer, and of course we have my wonderful Jillian Trumbull, Trudy Messon saying hello to Christopher. Love from Colorado. Oh, Gail, Karen and Annette. Oh my God, Gail Deniker. And Tree. Yeah, Laura Keenbaum. And Peter Felton. And you sang with us twice in San Francisco, California. And Basia. Pabielski Yakaitis. And Anya spent the day learning Peter Paul and Mary saying, okay. And Sherry, okay, Christopher. All right. You could sing through my phone, yeah, but you'd be a moment late. If you were to sing we can try this. I'll call you up, and if you sing, don't sing in sync with me, so you'll be coming through late, but you will be, it doesn't matter because I sing, oh, Stubble was a racehorse, and I wish he were mine, and I wish he were, and I have to do the lead off. And if you're a little late, it won't hurt. Please call Christopher Yarrow. This is an experiment, folks.
Calling Christopher Yarrow. Mobile.
Yes, that's true. Hi, sweetheart. Let me see if I get this a little louder. Can you be? All right, here we are. Try this. Okay, I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, Rachel checked in. All right, here we go. I'm going to try this because I love singing this with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What? They'll hear it. You're on the. I'll put it underneath the microphone so you'll be nice and loud. Okay, so we'll try it. Stubble was a racehorse, and I wish he were mine. He never drank water, He always drank wine. I'll do his bridle was silver. And you repeat. His bridle, no. Christopher, I have to say it first because you're going to be late. Then it doesn't matter for you. So I'll sing the lead and then you answer back, okay?
Okay, we'll try.
Okay, here we go once again. We're going from his bridle was silver. And his bridle was silver.
His bridle was silver.
Made it was gold.
His mane was gold.
And the worth of his saddle
Words of the saddle
has never been told. Oh, the fairgrounds were crowded.
Fairgrounds were crowded.
Stew Ball was there.
Stew Ball was there.
The betting was heavy
Heavy
on the bay and the men. As they were approaching, about halfway around, they there she stumbled, and she fell to the ground. Way out yonder, and way out yonder, ahead of them all, you're prancing and a dancing, my noble Stew Ball. But I bet on the gray mare, I bet on the bay, but I bet on my Stew Ball. I'll be a free man today. Jack of diamonds, I know you. You robbed my poor pocket, silver and gold. Oh, the hoot owl she hollered, and the turtle dove she moaned on the poor boy in trouble, and a long way from home. But my Stew Ball was a racehorse. I wish he were mine. He never drank water. He always drank wine. And way out yonder, ahead of them all, came a prancing and a dancing, my noble Stew Ball. Oh, Stew Ball was a racehorse. I wish you were mine. You never drank water. He always drank wine. He drank wine. Yay! Christopher, you know what? This is really weird, but it kind of worked. What works is the idea that we can get this close, even out of sync. So
I was trying to like, like be behind it or whatever was in front of it. I did the best without.
yeah, you figured it out. I'll try and FaceTime you, and then we can talk to these people out of sync. Do you do FaceTime?
I do FaceTime, yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm hanging up and I'm doing FaceTime.
Okay.
That's my son, Christopher. You know who Christopher. Please call Christopher Yarrow. Cell phone. She's going to say mobile.
Calling Christopher Yarrow. Mobile.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew you'd correct me.
Oh, we called each other.
What? Oh, I don't think I told you FaceTime.
Here we go.
Okay.
I gotta turn the light off.
Okay. All right. Now,
Accept.
accept. Hang on. Accepting. Oh, accept. There we are.
Are we very connected?
Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. How many new things we're going to be? Hang on, just a second. Okay. There we are on the screen together. Look how much we look alike. Christopher,
Yes.
where are you? Tell everybody where you might be.
In Colorado.
Yes.
We in our home here.
And looking out the window, I think there's a little bit of snow.
Oh yeah. There's snow and sunset.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that song, what does that song mean to you? I'm going to put you on the spot.
What does it mean to me? Well, there's the sound of it. There's kind of the sound of stew ball. There's that sweet sound of it, and then there's that the opening up, like the singing out of it too. And there's the words, about betting on oneself, and then those times when sometimes we're always trying to follow our intuitions. We're trying to understand where's our intuition and what's the right thing to do. And so it's a wonderful story about somebody who didn't bet on themselves, but it's also talking about if we do make those choices, how we can live well, be happy with ourselves, live with good values.
And our integrity. And interestingly enough, I was just thinking about this peculiar thing because I'm just going to. Rachel sent me a funny, wonderful. Let me see, mute effects. I can't do it. Oh, well, it was something where she said, I feel like this. She said somebody said it on the net. I don't know whether it was Facebook or not. I feel like we've been told to sit in the corner and think about what we've done to the earth.
Oh yeah.
Did that resonate?
It's a good one.
Yeah. And I think that what I'm thinking about, sweetheart, is the fact that in the face of this fear and calamity that we have, it's restoring a lot of faith in me. That there's so much of the people waking up in a moment to say, what do we really care about in our lives? And for me, I'm saying, I pray. I don't pray in a religious way, but I do pray in my own or hope and invoke or whatever, and try and give my heart to something. but I pray in that sense that, of course, that the severity of this crisis is far less than has been predicted. But I also say, I want to go back to this, what we've got now, somewhat. I don't want to go back to the old rat race, the hyper competition, the stress, the overproduction. I want to know that there is blue sky over China, not just horrific. I want to know that people are calling each other and reaching out to touch each other with this kind of emphasis. And I think that, and I want to know that the planet is giving a chance to heal for you and Bethany, Valentina, particularly Valentina. So although it's a terrible time in some ways, in other ways, people are talking about it in different fashions, but I love the fact of this. So are you going to stay on? Because if you're going to stay on, okay.
Another thing too about it is the stew ball or talks the way you're talking about it. Our cultural values. What do we do?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what does it mean to be a decent person and to be able to live with ourselves? And that's really what I think will get us through too.
I agree. I totally agree. Let me see if I can get you in this picture. Hang on. I need to jerry rig something a little bit less ridiculous, and then we're going to sing. But, here, I see what I need to do. All right. Okay, hang on. I think it's so interesting to try and figure out how we can defeat the distance.
I think I have to hold it up to my mouth or put headphones in. I don't know if I have headphones.
No. I think you're okay. I just want to. Oh, here I think is what is needed. Now we're talking, Peter. It's not brilliant, but it's working.
Thanks for including me.
Thank you for joining me, sweetheart. Okay, I'm going to lower your volume just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, speak again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's good. Okay. Can somebody come here and give me a virtual haircut? I think it's time. Okay, let me see what else we can sing that is wonderful and has that kind of let's sing Don't Laugh at Me together. I love singing that with you. I sang it the other night, but it goes. Just sing softly, then I'll get louder or softer to match you, okay?
Okay.
Because I can always get louder, but I can. I am a little boy with glasses, the one they call a geek, a little girl who never smiles, 'cause I got braces on my teeth, Christopher Fino.
And I know how
Cry myself to sleep. I am the kid on every playground. I'm the one that's chosen last. I'm a single teenage mother trying to overcome my past. You don't have to be my friend But is it too much to ask? Why don't you do the chorus?
Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from the pain.
God's eyes were all the same. Let's do the chorus together. Everybody, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, in God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm a beggar on the corner. You pass me on the street, and I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. Pass me on the street. I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. I don't think I think you have to sing a little louder. Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. We'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all? Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. Don't get your because I am different from you. Don't do this. We've been spending 20 years with Operation Respect to try to eliminate this kind of separation of people from each other with mean-spiritedness. Not just bullying, but just mean-spiritedness. Don't do this. Don't do this. And now there are people in our world who are holding sway as adults who do this as the way children did or do. And this is not. I'm black, I'm white, and I am brown. Christopher, what else?
I'm black, I'm London, I'm red, I'm Nick, I'm American.
Okay, I was born in Coast. Well, you know what? I know why this is doing it. I can mute me. No, there's no way. That's the problem, is that it's cutting out because it's hearing that identical signal. Okay, it's not gonna work. Maybe but I love you. I mean, what?
I'll join the fold and listen and sing along.
Folding. If you were here, I wouldn't be able to kiss you like that. All right, I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too, Papa.
That was very, very strange, but very wonderful. Because you don't know unless you try, right? And we did try. And I'll continue with the song. I'm black, I'm white, and I am brown. I'm Jewish, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Buddhist. I was born in Sarajevo. I was born in Kosovo. I was born in Northern Ireland. I was born in Africa. I'm Hutu. I'm Tutsi. I'm gay. I'm lesbian. And I am American Indian. I'm very, very young. I'm quite aged. I was born in Iraq and Afghanistan, born in the Sudan, Mexico, Canada, the United States of America. I'm Israeli. I'm Palestinian. I'm very, very wealthy. I am very, very poor. Please be kind to me. Please be my friend. Please accept me just the way I am. No one should be left out. We all should be included. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. With me, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. My country is of thee, sweet land of liberty, is of thee I sing. Don't laugh at me. Yes, it was so nice having Christopher here in that way. We'll figure out a technology so that he doesn't keep on chopping in and out. It'll be late, but it'll be fun and it'll work. Okay, a song that you know. You say, I don't know these songs. Some of you saying, I don't know these songs. Well, you know what? I bet you know this one. This is wonderful. This song, when David Halberstam heard Mary Travers sing it on the radio, he was driving his car. He pulled over to the side and he was astonished because it was so moving to him. Because to him, it was not just a personal story about somebody who felt ashamed because they'd been a failure and they couldn't go back without a voice. A yearning, you can hear it in Leaving on a Jet Plane. A yearning to come back home, to the home of who America was ethically and morally, because this was at the time of the Vietnam War. And as the years passed, people had come to realize that there was a tissue of lies. There's a book called A Bright Shining Lie by Sheehan, the great author. I think it won a Pulitzer Prize. That reveals how we were lied to about. So Mary, when she sang this, was a person saying, I want to come home to a moral country. Singing together. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Lord, I'm one. Lord, I'm one. Lord, I'm two. Lord, I'm three. Lord, I'm four. Lord, I'm 500 miles from my home. 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles. But I'm 500 miles from my home. Not a shirt on my back, not a shirt on my back. Go home this away, this away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can't go back home this away. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. A song of yearning for our morality, our ethical selves to come back to us. And in today's world, there are many examples of our loss of our moral center. And I can refer to a lot of them. The warehousing of young blacks, males, destroying their chances in life, getting picked up and arrested. And, what we're doing to the environment and then allowing it to occur is potentially terminal. We know that. But I think the most viscerally horrific manifestation of our loss of our moral center relates to our allowing these school shootings. I don't think, that's one thing, I don't think there are a lot of school shootings with this virus. Do you know what happened? I on the phone right now, Sawyer Garrity is on the line from Parkland, and her mom and dad, Wendy and Joe Garrity, and her sister, whose name I always forget, texted to me, and then I'll know and I'll mention, because that's my 81-year-old brain that needs to be excused. But this is what happened. David Sable was a friend of mine. Came up to me. He had met some of the Parkland student leaders, and he said, they need a song. I want you and David Broza, who's been joining us for some of these gatherings on TV. He said, they need a song because we need music to accompany the student movements the way it existed for the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. that kind of music, then you'd hear a song like If I Had a Hammer or Blowing in the Wind, and then it would become a huge hit and everybody would know it and they'd sing it, and then it would bring people together because the music reached their hearts. So he said, would you write a song for them, David Broza? And I said, I realized right away that what the right way to do this was. I said, no, what I will do is I will, with their permission, I'll go down and meet with them. And this was facilitated by Shelley Zallis, who is a very close friend of David Sable, who was at the time the long-standing CEO of Young and Rubicam, which is the most famous, iconic ad agency, after which Mad Men was patterned, that television series. So Shelley said, well, I'm going down in 2 days because I have to do a lecture down there. If you want to come, I'll arrange it for you to speak to the parents and we'll see if they want to do what you want to do. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to get the kids, the students who had experienced this. I felt that their voices would be the most powerful. And there are a lot of very gifted kids there, including Sawyer Garrity and Andrea Pena, her dear friend, and also, gifted, talented duo in writing and singing. And what I did as I went down there, Shelley Zallis presented me, and there were about 25, 30 students, some of the parents who had endured this shooting, a couple of months before, and were living in desperate pain and shock. And I sat there and I told them about how music had been so effective and powerful in the civil rights movement and the other movements. And I sang and I played videos, and I kind of imagined what it was like so that they could sense it. I said, I think if you were to write songs, this would be fantastic. This would it would be your words. I'll come down and I'll bring my friends, some activist singer-songwriters. The co-writer of Don't Laugh at Me, Steve Seskin, came down. 2 of the peace poets of the 5 peace poets who I met at a Black Lives Matter event in Harlem. A Black Lives Matter activist from St. Louis who, amazing. We're related to Otis Redding. Keith Sakola, who is by many credited with kind of igniting the Native American writing of music of conscience. And David Broza came down, who's an Israeli, but he also is an American, and he and I worked together along with others to bring the Don't Laugh at Me program, Operation Respect's creation of a caring classroom and school environment with less, if not eradicated, forms of ridicule, torment, bullying, etc. Which, by the way, we started with 4 schools, and now 70% of the people who presented to the classes and to the teachers, who are the school counselors, 70% of them have adopted it, which means that we're de facto at 70% of the schools in Israel, both Arabic and Jewish. Well, anyhow, this is the background of some of these people. And Bethany, Rufus, Cappadocia, and also Gail Sheehy came down. She was the only journalist I invited. And Steve Seskin started by saying, I said to everybody, look, Steve does as an entity that he has kids write songs, and he gives them as much freedom and as much opportunity to write what they can. Kids in grade school, mostly. He's been to over 1,200 schools. And it's brilliant. And he said, so I said, show them how you do this, because although I've sung a lot in schools, most of the people there at that report down, there were 12 of us. And this happened about 3 weeks after I made that initial trip to Parkland. And he said, okay, think of a title for a song. And the first song, and they suggested 12 titles, and then they chose the Song for the Silenced. This is a song, and listen to this lyric. And the kids wrote this lyric. And I have a tape of them writing, and you see, it's astonishing. This is the song for the silenced, the ones that were lost in a sea of violence. Speak out for the ones who can't speak anymore. They are the ones we are fighting for. Or speak out for our friends who cannot speak anymore. This did not come from an adult. This came from those kids that experienced this. And writing these songs, I told them, I wrote this. This is right up there with being at the March on Washington for me in terms of just life-forming events. And for the students, they have told me individually that they are, and they've told their parents, and we've been doing this for a long time now, that it's a very, very healing thing for them. And they have to endure a post-traumatic illness, from Columbine after 20 years. And they receive word one of their fellow students took her life or his life. So I think as an example of our totally needing to come down, not a shirt on our back, not a penny to our name. We cannot say that it's more important to have guns, automatic weapons, than to have 230,000 kids having been present at a school shooting and having to endure this trauma, not even to mention those who were wounded, who were killed. We're valuing the guns. It's more than we are our children, and our children all over the country are going into these drills and they're not like the drills that we had. When I was young, we used to have drills. Take cover, but we never didn't know that it was really possible. Here they know it happened until this corona virus break virtually every day. It's not happening now. And that's one thing that's happening. That's amazing. So why did I tell you all this? Let's get back to our morality. Let's get back to our humanity. This is a song that I wrote that came out of a speech by somebody who helped form Operation Respect, who was on the board. He's now a member of Congress. He was an extraordinary guy. He's Congressman John Garamendi from California, who was, he was a leader in state politics, and now he's a member of Congress. And in the Peace Corps, he went with Chick Downback, and they went to Eritrea and Ethiopia and brokered a peace that ended the 150, 200,000 people did bloodshed. And he got in front of Congress and he talked about what he saw. And the resonant words were, he was talking about the debates and the humiliation that was going on and the vitriol and he said, like my wife and I, we would say, okay, the children are listening. Let's talk about that later. And he said, he quoted some of the things that were being said, and he said, the children are listening. Our children are listening. Is this the way we want them to grow up? Do we want somebody who is willing to aspire to and become the leader of our nation? Here's a song. I went right away and I wrote this song. The children are listening. The children are listening. If we say something cruel and harsh, they will do the same. The children are listening. The children are listening. If they grow up to be bullies, we'll have ourselves to blame. Miracles can happen even on the darkest day, when we fear that all is lost and that hope has gone astray. Sometimes we drop our weapons when the price we pay is too great, when the damage to the ones we love is greater than our hate. It's time to come together across the dividing line for the children who are suffering with the pain in these our times. It's not just ridicule and taunts and bullying by their peers. Grown-ups rage and hate-filled words are ringing in their ears. The children are listening. The children are listening. If we say something cruel and harsh, they will do the same. The children are listening. The children are listening. If they grow up to be bullies, we'll have ourselves to blame. Bigotry and hatred still hang heavy in the air. They poison children's hearts and minds and leave them in despair. But if we defeat these demons that keep us so far apart, love and true forgiveness can begin to heal our hearts. Well, the healing won't be easy, because the pain we've caused runs deep. The injury that we have caused, we fear one day we'll reap. But if we stand together and with one voice at last raise our voices in peace and love, this painful time will pass. Sing with me, the children are listening. The children are listening again. The children are listening. If we say something cruel and harsh, they will do the same. The children are listening. The children are listening. If they grow up to be bullies, we'll have ourselves to blame. There's no doubt that increasingly the world has grown unfair, and for some just plain survival takes more than they can bear. But if we attack each other, we play the enemy's game and fail to see that across the line the suffering's much the same. Well, we can defeat this enemy if we recognize its face. Let the hatred that divides us finally be erased. Let's finally stand together now, and with one voice loud and clear, let our songs of healing be the ones that our children hear. The children are listening. The children are listening. Our children are listening. If we say something cruel and harsh, they will do the same. The The children are listening. The children are listening. If they grow up to be bullies, we'll have ourselves to blame. Our children are listening. Our children are listening. If we say something kind and loving, they will do the same. Our children are listening. Our children are listening. If they grow up with respect and love, there'll be no one to blame. I think that the whole idea of resurrecting our goodness, our decency, our humanity, it really goes right to the point of what is needed. Because I think if we care about each other, if we care about our kids, we won't let them be threatened by the reality of guns in the schools, and we'll change the gun laws. I think if we care about each other, if we care about people of color in our country, we won't allow extraordinary percentage of young Black people to be incarcerated and thereby wipe out their chances for advancement. If we care about the next generation rather than the next quarter's profits, we will create a circumstance whereby we will sequester carbon, whereby we will rejuvenate the soil, whereby we're going to do this. What is the price? Look at what, in spite of what we have, what if we could progress to a place where a lot of the things that we're experiencing now were to continue, including our reaching out for each other in very loving, special ways? What if that were to happen? That could be the game changer. So I'm going to sing another song, but I'm going to just inform you. I think that I'm going to be able to, well, I have the capacity and the right to play one of the videos of one of the songs that the students wrote. And certainly I can play the music, but the video, there's one video where I have all the permissions and we can do that. And you will not believe this. We recorded a full album. Kevin Salem, who is one of the best producers in the world, who could produce everything, because we had country singers and funk and spoken word and it was just a mishmash of styles. And this album, I think, is the best album I've heard in decades. It is the truth. It is what these kids are living, hoping, believing. And wonderful, wonderful filmmakers like George and Beth Gage came up and did a video on The Children Will Lead the Way. And then we've got the terrific song that's Wake Up, America, Wake Up, where Suzanne Barraza, who is a documentary filmmaker, and also the head of the Telluride Mountain Film Festival, and she made it's really, really strong and wonderful. Now it's all positive. It's about organizing. And what is the intention of this? To give the kids, the students, the children, the young people, the opportunity to create a music of their own, much like the civil rights movement had a music written by Bob Dylan and written by and sung by Judy Collins and Joan Baez, Peter Paul Mary, and freedom singers and all that. So if we can have that conjunction, it can have that binding force and that emotional impact. So now I'm going to do something really strange. This is our last song, and then of course I'll sing a little puff because I always do that. I'm going to sing "We Shall Overcome," and I want you to sing it with me. And if you're in the room together, please join hands like this. You cross your hands. This is a sacred song, and it's a prayer for these times, but it's an affirmation. We shall overcome. We are not afraid. A powerful verse that is not sung as frequently as the others. We shall live in peace. We shall all be free. We shall overcome. So take each other's hands, cross each other's hands. If I could play the guitar and do this at the same time, I would, but here it is. And then we'll end for the night. Oh, a couple of words. You'll see now that the same link will get you to this program each night. So that is what you want to remember. Number two, I'm going to try and post it as I did. You just go to the link and you'll see whether it's on for tonight. And for the time being, it'll just be at 9:00. I think, because I've done them now out of the past 8 nights, I've done 7 of these, and I think I need a break from that. Although in the beginning, I just felt it was like I had to go. I had to do this. Like I had to be in Grant Park. I was up in the Hilton Hotel. There they were, because I knew this music was going to be comforting and bring us together and healing. And so I did. But I feel that we're in the beginning of phase 2 of this, with getting our bearings. Linda Carroll, who may be on the line now, sent me, and I promised I would do this, a wonderful, I'll send you the link tomorrow. I will send it along with the invitation, or tomorrow or the next day. That will give you, it's an hour, tell you, a kind of a measured, reasonable way to know this is what's happening. This is how you protect yourself. The person who gives it is a doctor from Mount Sinai, who's that's all they're doing now is cases of coronavirus. And he basically said, I know what to do, and I am not afraid that I'll come down with this virus. And it comes down to pretty simple things. Not doing what I'm doing now, which is touching your face. You gotta stop doing that. I was thinking that, these cones that dogs have over there, so they can't. At first I thought, well, maybe we could make cones for our faces. And they said, we're out of cones for our hands. We try and figure that they stop it. And the one thing that I'll tell you this, the one thing that should make you think that you should go to a hospital and get tested. It's not a fever and it's not a cough. It's if you're having trouble breathing. That's the one thing he said. So I'll send it to you, and it's a link. And it helps because there are so many people who are poo-pooing it, and so many people who are hyper-dramatizing it. But you can't really hyper-dramatize something where you've got, now we have, I think we are the epicenter here. Okay, this is We Shall Overcome. Crossing hands again. Maybe tomorrow I'll sing the wedding song, maybe 2 wedding songs. And we sing like this. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. See, that's the difference between singing and speaking. When I'm singing, I feel the sense of optimism and connection to you. But when I'm speaking, I'm farther away. And I say, we shall overcome someday. And I'm resonating inside myself and saying, yeah, you're saying that too. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And I want to thank you all for being on, but very much Joe and Sawyer and Wendy and your other daughter. For and Joe, what you do, I know that Shine, which is the name of the song your daughter and Andrea wrote, is also the name of a foundation that provides the money for these students to get the healing help they need, therapy and other things. And they use the arts. Thank you, Joe. I love you. I love your family. I love Miguel, Peña, and Andrea, and I love Sophia, and I love Marisol. Amazing. Wait till you meet these people. You will as we go forward. I promise. We are not afraid. Okay, harness together. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. You're reggae. We are not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. I'm thinking of my friends from Parkland. I'm thinking of David, and I'm thinking of I just can't tell you how I feel that what we live together. And Cora Weiss, this goes out to you. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. All right, so that's it for this evening. And thank you You know, I'm not doing this alone. I'm sorry, Bethany wasn't with us. She's taking care of Valentina tonight, but I don't think I'll do it tomorrow, but I might decide to. I think I need a break. I think you need a break, for goodness sake. Some of you have been with me every night. And it's such a mixed kind of experience, the sweetness of our sharing this and also the deep sadness and the fear that we're warding off and the awareness of all the things that we can embrace together when we take some time to communicate in this way. So, look, Christopher, I love you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for coming on. Okay, we're going to end now. And remember, if you didn't hear, that it's the same link each time, but you can, if you simply go to the link, you will see a notification as of that day, whether or not it'll be on the left side of the screen, whether we're going to have a mini concert. Okay? Whew, I'm a little weary, but I'm feeling good. Thank you all.